there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super excited because we have another human being here in the studio, which is not something that happens very often, but I want to welcome Podraig from Corrigan Pickups. Welcome to the Lonely Rocker studio.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
If you follow my channel, some of you may have seen this double neck guitar. This is a Westcreek Double Trouble. I featured this some time ago. Now, this is a budget double neck guitar, kind of process that concept. But what makes a guitar budget? Well, there's a number of things, and we don't need to get into the geopolitical reasons why things are cheaper, but it's got a great bone structure. You know, obviously there's compromises here that helps to keep the cost down, but I really like this guitar. And I think it's worthy of becoming a project guitar. And the first thing that I wanted to do was upgrade the pickups. I do record in the studio, and the sonic capabilities of my instruments is extremely important. Mm-hmm. So enter Corrigan Pickups.
Hi.
So you've done something interesting for me.
You know, you reached out a while back before the new year, and you explained the instrument and, you know, what you wanted to do with it. And I was immediately super excited about the opportunity and the project. So yeah, I wound up 4 pickups for you. They're all slightly different. They all look slightly different. And we kind of need to discuss where you want to put each one.
So this is an official unboxing now, or an actual unboxing. Look at this beautiful packaging in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little bags. Number 1. Number 2. We'll say, in theory, number 2. It could be number 4. It could be number 1. We don't know. Bag number 3. Nice. And the last one here. Let me guess, there's a pickup in here?
I mean, I hope so.
Oh, there's the cheese sandwich I ordered. Thank you. Oh, look at this. Funny that it was the last one. I'm excited. Let's get into this.
Let's get to it.
So something that I didn't know he was going to do, that all the pickups, as you said, are different.
Yeah, so the 2 neck pickups that I put together for you fundamentally look identical. They are both raw nickel covers, and they have the actual exposed pull pieces are slugs. So they're not adjustable, like they're not flat heads like these, they're not hex pieces or anything. Right. They're just steel slugs, which is very, very typical of like a vintage PAF style pickup. The 2 big fundamental differences is that one has an unoriented Alnico 5 magnet, and one has an Alnico 4 magnet. Now, an unoriented Alnico 5 is just a different version of an Alnico 5 magnet. It's a little bit weaker than a regular Alnico, but it's a very, very open, broad-sounding magnet. And then Alnico 4 is still in that vintage realm of like terms of your output and the kind of sound it will output, but it's, for lack of a better term, it's a lot creamier. It's a bit thicker. They are both the exact same DC resistance. They're both just under 8K, so they're going to be very, very bright, very, very clear and bell-like. My personal gut feeling is that we go with an Alnico 4 in the neck of your 6-string and the unoriented Alnico 5 in the neck of the 12-string. So when you're doing those big 12-string open chords, it's going to be very brilliant, very, very bright, very broad range kind of thing. We're kind of on the same page with that one, right?
I'm game.
Cool. That's great. So the foil is our Mark II pickup, which is our kind of middle of the road output. For other brands, it's more in the high output range, but because we also do a lot of pickups for the death metal and doom crowd as well, some of our pickups get really, really high. So this one is just under 16K, so about 15.5K, and that one is an Alnico 5 as well. So that's going to be your good baseline benchmark. Is very comparable to, you know, a lot of other very popular pickups in that kind of output range. But it's just that a bit slightly low in its DC, and it's Alnico 5. This one is a similar model to these guys, but this one is Alnico 2. For any kind of pickup under 10K, that's my personal preference of magnet. I like that magnet on anything that's kind of in that vintage realm. I find it doesn't get very brittle in the top end. It's very, very smooth. It's very rounded off. So it lends itself better to instruments that are inherently going to be very bright, because especially with a lower DC like that, you're going to inherently have more top end. Right. So I know which size these are both going to go in for my personal preference, but
so based on what you said, I think logic would state that you're going to put this on the 6 string.
Yes.
And then this would go on the 12.
Yes.
I guess I kind of understand a little bit about this, but
all,
that makes sense to me.
It all kind of makes sense. So yeah, this is on Mark II. These three are the PAD model, which is, you know, a tongue-in-cheek joke on 2 levels. It's the first 3 initials of my name, as well as it stands for patents are dumb, which I was never really one for the whole chasing the PAF kind of thing.
I'd only worry if your pickups had headstocks.
Yeah, so PADs, and that's the Mark II.
Sounds good to me. We got a plan.
Let's do it. I've always been a guy that's kind of, you know, been a tinker and just want to understand how everything works. And I've been a full-time guitar tech for most of my career. It was just kind of like a natural progression in that I already do so much other stuff to do with the instrument. Why not get into this? I was expecting those really small, like dime-sized, not even worth putting in anything parts. Those were pretty good. What started out as just a hobby to keep me busy has now completely taken over my life and has bloomed into this thing that I get to share with lots of other people, which is really cool. Generally speaking, we don't really believe that anybody has to change their pickups. If you're playing guitar and you are making music and recording with the pickups you have in your guitar and it makes you want to play, there's no reason to change them. However, if that particular instrument is not doing it for you, you love the way it plays, and you will love the way it looks, and you want to play it, but it just doesn't sound the way you want it to, that's the time to change your pickups. It is such a large and expensive world to get into that there is a pickup for every application and there's a pickup for everybody. I love nothing more now than just sitting down and getting to know someone, getting to know the music they play, and then finding out where we can go to make them make music with our pickups. with these pickups, you know, I was really excited by the project because from the original conversation that myself and you, Dan, the conversation we had, I remember you were very kind of cautious around asking me right off the bat for 4 pickups, which to me is whatever. I'm happy to do it. But to know it was going into this and to try and make this into an instrument that could be more than what it was and only benefit you and make you want to play it more, it sat with me perfectly. So I feel like what I put together and what we came up with for this guitar really sits well, and it fits. It's not like it's, you know, we put these super high output death machines in here. We've put in pickups that suit every position for each neck, and it is now just a well-rounded unit that will cover a lot of bases, as well as, you know, fundamentally they look different. It's also somewhat of a conversation piece, I suppose, but it's a little bit out of the norm for what we do, and it's just another example of we put our heads together. I put my head down and I start to think about what I think would be cool. I mean, obviously in this circumstance it's all a bit of a surprise. Usually that's not the case. I'm very, very proud with how these came out, especially this neck pickup, this Alnico 4 PAD. Very, very proud of that one. I love them all, but I'm very, very proud of these pickups in this guitar.
Well, I have to say that was a lot of fun. You've given new purpose to this guitar. And I mean that. I mean, listen, every guitar, there needs to be a purpose with every instrument. When you start to build up a collection, especially for someone like me that records, every guitar is a tool and it has to serve a specific function. I covered all kinds of different products here at different budget points. I can't lie. I mean, I have a taste for guitars. I've been playing for a long time, and I'm not necessarily in the market for budget guitars for myself. But I have handpicked some brands that I thought would offer value if you're just getting started. And there was something about this guitar, and other people agree with me, and you played it. I mean, for a budget guitar,
honestly, it's killer. Yeah, it's really good.
And this video is not about the guitar per se, but you opened it up inside, and
you know, the electronics are actually surprisingly pretty good. The hardware is pretty good. You know, the nut on both necks is actually cut very, very well, and the edges are nice and rolled, like right on the corners, which is huge for me. Yeah, the machine heads could be a little bit better, but all in all, this thing and the yellow one too, like they're killer, dude. They're really good.
Now we got some great pickups in there. Maybe pop some new machine heads on there, and suddenly, okay, the cost of what was once a $400 double neck guitar, okay, retail wise, you're going to go up in price. But sometimes it's fun to kind of start at that base level guitar and then customize it, find something. And Corrigan Pickups, they've got pickups for all sorts of different flavors. I love the fact that you went with a whole series of different ones. I mean, I'm going to have so much fun going through this when recording. We're definitely going to be seeing this guitar, and it now has a role officially here in the studio. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So listen, definitely check out. I'm going to put links to Corrigan in the description. He's also on Instagram, so I'll link all of that in the description. Give him a follow. And thank you so much for coming by. It was such a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, any thoughts for me, any questions for him, put them in the description. I'll do my best to get some answers. But if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And while you're at it, well, we have talked about the Double Trouble here. I did a whole video about it. I'm going to pop it right here if you want to check it out. And remember, you don't need a bad to rock and roll. I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah. Check it.